Hey there, my name's Anna Hone. For those of you who don't know me, I am a lead executive with Jamboree Nails. I'm most likely in your upline if you're watching this video and have come onto the event page where we're going to be teaching you how to conduct your Facebook parties a little bit more compliantly. The beginning of the year, Facebook actually put some policies into play that they're really just starting to enforce now. So Home Office has put together an amazing video. It's really great. I've probably watched it 4 or 5 times already and I'm still learning things. But they put together this great video to teach us how to conduct these online parties, help us to stay within Facebook's policies and regulations and guidelines so that we don't get put in what we like to call the dreaded Facebook jail. Okay? For those of you who haven't been put in Facebook jail before, what it is basically if you're posting things that Facebook doesn't like you posting or that come off spammy, you will basically be unable to post in groups and do some other things, sometimes message people as well, for around a month. So it can be really detrimental if the majority of your business is online. So hang tight, we're going to get going here. I'm going to give you some tips, some things that I think can help you just in your parties in general. I've talked to some other leaders and they've given me some tips that they think are really important too. So hopefully this is going to be really beneficial for you.
Okay, so I just want to give you some tips that I think are the most important things that you're probably going to want to make sure that you do or don't do.
We're going to be going through my top 10 tips here. So my first tip is understand Facebook rules and guidelines. If you don't understand what you could get in trouble for on Facebook, it's important to go and read through those. So here's the link for your personal timelines, the rules to follow there and the policies that Facebook has provided. And then here is also the policies and rules for your business pages. So go ahead and go to those 2 links, read about them, and get some information so that you can stay out of that dreaded Facebook jail.
Number 2, Facebook can start catching specific word phrases like buy now, or go to my website to purchase, or tag your friend to win a prize. You know, things like that that are repetitious that we say as businesses. If you're doing things on your personal page, then sometimes Facebook will pick up on those things and they can put you in Facebook jail for that.
Number 3, do not overly post promotional items on your personal account. I know that sometimes we think, oh my goodness, I'm trying to get these sales, I'm really desperate, so you post on your personal page. All that does is drives people away. They don't want to look at what you have going on anymore because they think all you want to do is try to sell them your product. There's a reason why we have our business pages, or you can start a VIP group if you don't have one of those. But the people who are on those business pages and your VIP page are the ones who want to be seeing your information, your tips, your new products that are coming out, your occasional deal that you want to give, all those sort of things. So make sure you're keeping those onto your business pages. Now that doesn't mean that you can't occasionally post on your personal page. In fact, sometimes it's a great idea to just post a picture of your nails and say, oh my gosh, I put on this new combination and I love it. What do you think? Things like that are great to put on your personal page. But even still, just do those occasionally so that people don't think that's all you're wanting to post about.
Number 4, I know some of you don't tag maybe that often. You're afraid to tag people. If they've clicked going or maybe to the party, don't feel bad tagging them occasionally in posts.
If you're tagging people in posts, ideally the best way to tag people in posts is to have your hostess do it. Because if the hostess is tagging her friends, the friends are going to pay more attention to it, and also they're not going to be annoyed by it. Sometimes we have hostesses that don't like to do that, and in those cases, I go ahead and post on things occasionally anyways, because if there's something important and somebody's been wanting to be part of the party, then they want to see it. So what kind of posts do you tag people on? What are the important posts?
If you have like a special going on for ordering, like order within the next 24 hours and you could get a prize from me, or play this game and I'm giving away a prize at the end of the day today, anything like that, you can tag people on those, because if they've said that they're going to your party, that means they want to be notified. They want to be notified. But don't go overboard on it.
How do you know if you're tagging too much? And that will vary depending on who is throwing the party and that sort of thing. But General rule of thumb, just to make sure that you're not just tagging and bugging people, when you tag, make sure you're tagging with a purpose. Don't just write this long list of names so that they see the post that you've had. Write, a few people that you think this would apply to, like you're doing Jam Juniors. So these people have little kids. So post them and say, hey, what do you think of these? ? Or let's say you're posting about college wraps and you know that a few of them are going to college. Say, so-and-so and so-and-so. What college are you attending right now? Let's check and see if there's a collegiate wrap for you. That is a really good way for you to tag people or for your hostess to tag people. Tag with purpose. Tip number 5, it's really important to keep your posts fairly short and simple. If you have these long drawn out explanations, half the time people aren't going to read the whole thing. They're going to either get bored with reading it or they're going to get frustrated or confused, and it's going to make them less likely to engage in the post or the activity. Make sure you're keeping them fun and conversational too. You want to make sure that you're talking to them like they're your friend, not like you're trying to sell them on something. So make sure when you reread it, it doesn't sound like super sales pitchy, that it sounds more like you're just trying to make a conversation and have fun with them.
Number 6, make your parties personal to you, okay? I know that a lot of you like to use the company's application video, and that's fine, but if you guys can break out of your comfort zone just a little bit, just make a little video of yourself. Maybe you can do an introduction video.
Doing a personalized video for your parties doesn't have to take much time. It can be a simple, 60-second hello to your party goers. But it makes all the difference when people try to relate to you as a person and not just somebody behind the screen. Also consider replacing some of the posts with some fun videos. So you might have like a tutorial video, or you might have a fun video that you found that somebody's done about the removal process, or whatever the case may be. But it's really nice sometimes to mix it up and not just have pictures of stuff, that you can have some videos too. Number 7, keep it fun. Make sure that you have plenty of posts that they can interact on. Games to play. People love playing the games. Consider trying a new party format. A lot of people like to do the 30-minute parties. If you haven't attended a tag team training, you might want to do so. They have some special every once in a while that they actually format to Jamboree consultants. So you can give one of those a shot. I can give you more information if you're interested in one of those, or your team manager could also do that. A lot of people like those 30-minute parties, and it's actually really good for us, not to drag on here in this tip, but if you can get people on your party at the same time as you and interact with them, it's actually building a relationship with those people, because you're corresponding and joking around, or showing them things that they might like, and you're building that network and relationship with them, so they're going to feel more comfortable with you as their consultant, and it likely ends up in a purchase. If your party goes too long, watch out, because a lot of times people will lose interest. They will stop interacting with the party, and then it's going to become dead. Number 8, starting with a welcome post. A welcome post is a great way to get your party started. Reason being, because you get an opportunity at that point, right at the beginning, to start to get to know your guests. Now, word from the wise, I'm grateful that one of the gals in our downline, Leah Christensen, was talking with one of her downline members, and she brought up a good point. And I've also been thinking about this too. Doing your parties the way that this video is going to teach you, that home office released, your privacy isn't the same if you were doing an event or a group and marking it as a private event or group. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're doing a welcome post. Sometimes you're going to ask people about themselves, about where they live, about personal information. And if you're doing that on your business page on an event, don't ask them those kind of questions. Maybe just ask something like, tell me whether you've tried Jamboree before and what your favorite color is. And that way, once you see their favorite color, you can post some wraps that you think they might like, or something like that. Or non-personal information from them that you're not going to find them posting information that you don't want everybody in the world to see. Now, on the video that you're going to be watching, she does talk a little bit about how to keep just random people from coming onto your parties, how to lessen the amount of it. But you might get a straggler here and there that just finds your party, which is good and bad. But you just want to make sure that people aren't divulging personal information, because that can be kind of scary. So keep that in mind. Once again, though, this video is not the only way you can host a party. You still can do your private events or your private groups, but just keep in mind that Facebook is going to be paying a little more attention to those these days, and you might want to just switch over to your business page. But you're going to find what works best for you, and Facebook is going to keep evolving. But once again, getting back to my tip number 8, Start with a welcome post of some sort, something fun, interactive, that you can learn about your guests so that you can start the interaction with them on the page. Tip number 9, make sure to share lots and lots of pictures of the wraps actually on hands. The product will sell itself. If somebody sees something that they love and they can't live without, they're going to be more likely to purchase that product. If you're not showing what the product looks like on very often, then those people are going to just kind of see what you're talking about, but they're not going to show a lot of interest. You've got to capture them and get them excited from something that they see. So post lots of pictures of them on. The other tip, don't necessarily just post things that you like. Post different designs that you might not love because somebody else might love them. Tip number 10. So this is my last one for you. I don't know how many of you have actually tried messaging your guests, but there's a few things that you should do and a few things that you should not do. So do message your guests and come from a place of service. Ask them how they're liking the party. If they have any questions for you yet, help them with their order. Ask them if they're unsure about anything or if there's anything that you can help them navigate on the website. Things like that. But make sure that you are not mass messaging people and copying and pasting. Facebook will pick up on if you're copying and pasting and copying and pasting. And after you've done it enough times, you'll get this little message box that pops up on Facebook that tells you, whoa, you better back off and slow down your messaging because right now Facebook is picking it up as spam. So make sure that you're not copying and pasting to everybody messages, but it is okay to message your guests and don't be afraid to, like I said, come from a place of service first because they're going to like that when you're just asking them if you can help them. At the end of the party, for those people who maybe didn't order but have interacted, or even those who haven't, there's nothing wrong with messaging them and saying, hey, I noticed that you didn't put in an order. I didn't know if you had anything that on your wish list that you'd like to earn by hosting a party. Well, let me know if you want more information, that sort of thing. Those are great ways to message people. Make sure that you're not messaging too many people that you aren't actual Facebook friends with. And if they don't respond to your first message that you send them, likelihood is you don't want to message them too many more times because they're not wanting to interact and become involved. And that way you're not coming off spammy to them. So if you're still nervous about Facebook jail, I found this wonderful article that you can read. So go to this, I shortened the link for you so that it's easier to type in, but go to this link below and you'll be able to read more about how to make sure that you stay out of Facebook jail and just help you be more comfortable with the whole process. Okay, so I'm going to actually post this video too in this training event page, but I wanted to show you how to find it in your dashboard also. So when you log into your dashboard, go over to Resources and Training, go down to your Jamboree University, and this is going to be your page that pops up right here. If you haven't been into Jamboree University yet, I really encourage you to get into it. There's so much good training in here. If you feel lost or need help, this is really going to give you a huge, huge start in your business and really help you learn all the ins and outs that you need to know. But anyhow, you're going to go up to here, and yours is going to look a little different than mine since you're just starting out. But click on your Jamboree New Consultant Training that it says right here. You're actually going to go down to Social Media 101. Once you get into Social Media 101, you can go up to here to Contents. You're going to go down to Facebook Party Training. Click on that. And here is your video right here. You're just going to push play. And she's going to start talking to you about how to do an effective, compliant Facebook training.
Welcome everyone to the Facebook.
And that's it.
And if you're nervous about these changes happening in Facebook, don't be. Just kick back and relax for a minute. Like this. And if the idea of possibly getting put in Facebook jail is making you totally nervous, just relax. It's not a big deal. If you get put in Facebook jail, it's not forever. And this little training is going to educate you and really help you so that hopefully you don't land there. But I want to emphasize that this is not the only way to do your Facebook parties. But seriously, if you're nervous or scared or just upset about the whole thing, don't be. It's not a big deal. So you might be thinking, well, this totally stinks, Anna, because I have a system and now I'm getting asked to change it.
But in the words of Daniel Tiger,
you gotta try new things because they might be good. And you know, you might run most of your business online, and that's totally cool. But I want to encourage you guys to think about doing more home parties and events. If you will do both online and offline stuff with your business, that is when you will see a huge change and your business really start to flourish. And how do you get those home parties? A lot of you say, I can't book a home party to save my life. Well, what do you need to do? You gotta ask. Ask, ask, ask. It's simple, just ask.
that is the end of our training. I hope that was educational for you. Now take a moment to go and watch Home Office's video. We're going to have some kind of question and answer time after this. So once you have watched it, feel free to come back to this event page, post your questions, and we'll just kind of have a discussion from here on out. Thanks so much for watching and tuning in.
Number two. What was number 2? To educate you how to stay out of Facebook jail. Stratty thinks that's funny. Say yes, yes, yes. No, 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 no.